The AK74u is a fan-favorite submachine gun. It first appeared in the original Modern Warfare game, but it has since become a staple of both Infinity Ward and Treyarch sub-franchises. Generally speaking, 74u is meant to be a pocket version of the AK-47, featuring some pretty hefty recoil, slower handling compared to other SMGs, but it makes up for it with some very, very beefy damage, often enough to kill with just 2 bullets to the head. What is up, everybody? Chaos here. Today, welcome back to the Ranking Every series. We're going to look through COD history. We are going to look at every single version of the AK-74u and rank them from the absolute worst, the bottom of the barrel, to the top of the mountain. The absolute best. So you let me know which 74u is your all-time favorite. Drop a like, and let's dive in with dead last. At number 6, coming in at the bottom, is the AK-74u from Black Ops 3. This was easy for me. Now, this gun has appeared in a number of games. It's always been at least mid-tier, but the Black Ops 3 version, it was weirdly pretty bad, which was extra strange considering that it was exclusive to supply drops, so there's a good chance you didn't even get to play with it. This SMG was added to the mix in May of 2017, about a year and a half after the game came out, which that's actually kind of cool in a way, but it was also a bit of a slap in the face. I mean, you grind Black Ops 3 for hundreds of hours, which a lot of us did, just to save up a bunch of your crypto keys. You buy a whole lot of rare supply drops to try and get one of the cool new weapons, and then you end up pulling this thing out of one instead. I mean, instead of something good. The FFAR, the XMC. This version of the AK-74u not only looked and sounded kind of dinky, it was also weirdly weak and ineffective, which was not what you would expect from this submachine gun. It fired at 652 rounds per minute, would need at least 3 shots to kill. There was no 2-shot kill potential with this gun, and it would also hit for as little as 19 damage at range, meaning it could take up to 6 shots to kill, which is not only pretty weak for a weapon firing this slow, it's just weak for an AK-74u, period. On top of all of that, the recoil, it was high, and the reload animation was painfully long, so this gun just kind of sucked all the way around. I really don't know why Treyarch butchered the gun so hard like this, especially if it was going to be exclusive to the supply drop system, but they did. I mean, it's one thing to go nerf a classic COD weapon into the ground, but if you're going to do that, the least you could do is give it to everyone instead of teasing them by putting it behind a paywall. That's just my 2 cents. Before we move on, guys, if you want to know the details about the Call of Duty Ghosts spin-off DLC, that's right, you heard me right, click the link at the top of the description and head over to the new Chaos Call of Duty channel where we cover daily COD news, updates, leaks, rumors, everything, and right-click it, save that browser, watch this, and then go watch that and make sure you subscribe to the new channel. At number 5 today, the AK-74u from Black Ops Cold War. Some people thought this version was amazing. I didn't. I mean, I would call it upper mid-tier. Still good, still viable, but not quite as good as some of the other SMGs in the game, and certainly not as good as the rest of the AK-74us from COD history we'll talk about here in a minute. It was a good choice for most situations. It had some good attributes. It hit pretty hard for an SMG, came with a juicy 40% headshot damage bonus that can make it even deadlier. It looked and sounded good. I mean, they put great attention into detail at Treyarch. They did. The rate of fire was low, 697 rounds per minute, but when you could kill with as little as 3 bullets, that's a good TTK. Overall, it was on the longer side in Black Ops Cold War, the TTK that is, so the fact that the AK-74u could kill with 3 bullets was very valuable, and if you managed to get good at controlling the recoil and aiming high, this thing was extremely deadly. The only reason I say it was mid-tier overall was the fact that other SMGs got the job done better and with less effort. Before you dislike the video for putting the Cold War version at number 5, keep in mind that the rest of the entries on this list are all going to be top tier. Seriously, all of the remaining guns were top tier in their respective games, so the rest of this list was actually not the easiest to put together. At number 4 today, the AK-74u from Black Ops 1. Once again, for the second time, hold off before you hover that finger over the dislike button. Let me remind you that even though I'm putting the Black Ops 1 version at number 4, I still consider it to be top tier within the game itself, just not quite as absurd as the 3 we'll get to soon. But if we're just talking about the weapon selection in Black Ops 1, easily the best SMG in the game. Certainly a top 5 gun. Heck, a lot of people consider the 74u to be the only submachine gun in the game because it was that much better than everything else in the category. Now, was it that much better or were the rest of the SMGs kind of crappy? It kind of goes both ways. It fired at 750 rounds per minute, could kill in 3 bullets up close, 5 bullets at max range. It gave it one of the best close range and long range times to kill in the game, all with the speed mobility of an SMG. There was a downside, though. It had some hefty vertical recoil, far more than most of the assault rifles, so if you were sticking to close range, it wasn't hard to stay on target and take advantage of the high damage per shot. But if you were trying to use it mid-range and beyond, it took some practice and, of course, the trusty foregrip attachment. Contrary to popular belief, the AK74u was actually not capable of a 2-shot kill in the original Black Ops, but that did not stop it from hitting like a truck and being far more versatile than the rest of the SMGs and most of the ARs. I love this version, but the rest of the appearances from COD history, they were somehow even better. At number 3, the AK74u from Modern Warfare 3 Plutonium. No, you're not crazy. The AK74u did not appear in the original version of Modern Warfare 3, but it was actually going to at first before it was cut from the launch build. But if you're playing Modern Warfare 3 through Plutonium mods right now, the AK74u was restored. It was put into the core progression system, and it's insane. Frankly, I think I see why IW and Sledge made the decision to cut it from the base game, because it was a little too good. Not quite as good as the completely busted MP7, but still extremely powerful and incredibly hard to go up against. It fired in an even 800 rounds per minute, which is extremely fast for an AK, and it could kill in 2 to 3 shots up close, making it one of the fastest killing guns in the game. The range isn't amazing, but the visual kick, it was a tad overwhelming. But the sheer close range power, what I'm getting at is it's some of the best in COD history, especially when paired with the speed and precision of a mouse and keyboard. If you're playing on the Plutonium project on PC, give the AK74u a try in Modern Warfare 3. It's fun to use. Honestly, makes you feel a little dirty. Sure, may not be as versatile as its brothers, but it has some of the fastest killing potential out of all of them, and I think that's enough to get the number 3 spot today. At number 2, the AK74u from COD 4 and Modern Warfare Remastered. Whenever I mention that the COD 4 AK74u was busted, I do get a handful of people arguing with me in the comments, but I also get a ton of people that agree with me. If you didn't play much COD 4 back in the day, or if you missed out on Modern Warfare Remastered, there's probably a good chance you don't think very highly of this version, likely because it was often overshadowed by the M16 and the MP5. But if you actually tried it out, you would quickly find that it was arguably a top 5 gun in the game, possibly even better than the MP5. It fired at 800 rounds per minute, just like the crazy Plutonium version, and it would consistently kill with just 2 bullets if you were using stopping power, which made it one of the most deadliest SMGs in the game. Now, the visual recoil was pretty high, but the actual kick was low, which made it easy to hit your shots while aiming down the sights. When you're using stopping power, the AK74u could basically be treated as an AR in the body of an SMG, since you were killing with 2 bullets up close or maybe 4 bullets at max range. You had the speed, the mobility of an SMG. It was like a hybrid. Did I mention how awesome this thing sounded whenever you pulled the trigger? COD 4 and Modern Warfare Remastered were dominated by the M16 and the MP5. I know that. But the 74u, it was slept on. But at number 1 today, I have to put it at the top. Let me know if you think I'm crazy or if I'm on point. The cast-off 74u from Modern Warfare 2 2022. Let's close out the video, perhaps the most popular gun in the latest Call of Duty game right now. Unlike the other guns on the list, the cast-off is listed as an AR instead of an SMG, but it feels like the classic 74u in pretty much every way. It's a tad slower than the SMGs, but it hits like an assault rifle, has some impressive range values, plus it has great bullet velocity, so you can challenge people at mid-range way easier than SMGs, likely because Infinity Ward decided to list it as an AR this time around. I don't know why, but they did. The versatility of the cast-off is almost unmatched in Modern Warfare 2, which is why it's easily one of the most popular guns in the game right now, and I think this one's long overdue for a nerf, so there's a chance it gets patched before you see this video or after. But if you played Modern Warfare 2 in the first couple months, you probably know just how dominant this weapon was, and given how Infinity Ward has been taking their time with a lot of the weapon updates, I think there's a good chance it doesn't get nerfed at all. I don't understand why they decided to change the names on so many classic weapons, but the cast-off 74u is the best version of the AK74u in COD history. I don't think many people are going to argue. Maybe they will. Let's just hope Infinity Ward doesn't overreact and nerf it into the ground, because that's happened too. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you soon.